What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, May 26th, 2020. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Kinda Funhaus Week's own Adam Kovic.
I was wondering where
I'm good. How are you? How many crunches did you do today? How many burpees? How many sit-ups? How many curls?
no joke. So Jess and I are on a every other day workout routine now, and it's the most bare minimum you could possibly do. It's a jog around the block, and then it's like a 5-minute sit-up thing every other day, just so that we don't become a mush of just bones and flesh, because gyms are closed forever. So
sure. Yeah.
So not quite there, but we're trying to eat healthy. We're trying.
Yeah.
But thank you. Thank you for the ask. How are you? How many Spider-Mans have you curled today?
I had a cup of coffee and some coffee cake. You know what I mean? But it's homemade coffee cake, so it's like probably not as bad as the stuff you get out of a vending machine. Jen's been really good about keeping me active too during this, like taking me out on walks like Portillo, hikes. I've been doing a lot of hikes, a lot of urban hiking. You know what I mean? A lot of people say I put it on the map. Yeah. And so I was surprised, actually. Over the weekend, we shot some of the Guerrilla Collective, of course, the Kinda Funny Game showcase mashed up with the Indie Mix event that's happening in lieu of E3 or whatever on June 6th. And I went in there to the office for the first time.
Plug something? What happened?
I did. That's how good I am at it. But I walked in there to film something, Adam, and I got to go in and I had to put on a collar shirt for the first time. And it was one of my skinny collar shirts from like years ago when I was dating Jen. And I was blown away that it still fit. Like, you know what I mean? Like I've been doing the VR workouts and stuff. I've been doing the hikes. I've been eating better. I'm not terrible.
You've been keeping it schlender, and then you've got the dad beard, which is
exactly. I got the dad bod, the dad beard, everything else. You know what I mean? Got them,
unlike most of the ex IGN or current IGN staff, you have transcended man-child, and you are now man.
Sure, I'm soy boy, right? And that's, I think, you know what I mean. I'm still in that thing. I won't rest until that image of everybody like this, with the beards and the face just like me, the Jack Patillo image that's out there with him on it. I want to be on that image. I don't understand how much more of a soy boy I can be to get on this. You know what I mean? But I digress. That's not what we're here to talk about, Adam.
Of course. No. What are we here to chat about?
We're here to talk about us having The Last of Us Part 2, No Man's Sky coming to Game Pass, and IGN revealing their summer game event, because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show at patreon.com/kindafunnygames. You can give us your questions, your comments, your squad up requests, everything under the video game sun. And of course, you can get the show ad-free. You can get it with the exclusive post show we do. You can have a good time. If you're watching live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, it's okay. You have a special job. You need to go to kindafunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up, so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, roosterteeth.com, and listening on podcast services around the globe each and every weekday. Housekeeping for you. Adam Kovic is here from Funhaus.
Hello.
This is the start of Kinda Funhaus Week. All week long, we're collaborating with our friends over at Funhaus. It started yesterday, actually, with the Rooster Teeth or RTX Comedy Night video going up. A whole bunch of people up there doing stand-up comedy. Adam, remember that from RTX?
I was there. I experienced it, and I thought, this is a safe place because they can practice their comedy. I'll never see the light of day. They uploaded it. Holy crap.
Sure, exactly. We like to lie to everybody and say, come on in, try it. It's your first time. No one will judge you, and then immediately publish it out there.
We'll never upload this. This is like the Pam Anderson sex tape. You'll never see crap. They uploaded it.
Baby, I love you, baby.
Those monsters. We also played some CSGO co-op with Kinda Funny's very own Andy Cortez, who's a gent. It was meant to be a little scarier, kind of spook him, because we know that he doesn't like the scares, but it ended up just being more frustrating than anything else. But he was a great partner in crime. But
Andy? Yeah, of course. Don't take him though, all right? Because he wants to go real bad. Just don't take him. All right.
We can't give him that, unfortunately.
Thank you.
I know we want to, but we can't.
You can keep up with the entire schedule at kindafunny.com/funhouse. You go there. It has the entire schedule out listed for you to see what is going on, where it's going on. Plus, if you go to the Rooster Teeth store right now, roosterteeth.com/store, I assume, you can get the Funhaus Cross Kinda Funny t-shirt, the special event t-shirt. It's not the t-shirt that just said Kinda Funhaus from back in the day that nobody bought. This is a good one.
We put effort into this one.
Yeah, exactly. Kevin, whenever you can bring that up to show people, you show it to them. All right. Funhaus Cross Kinda. No. I said no. See, it's not on our store. It's on. I think it's on their store. Or it's just on Rooster Teeth store. You gotta go to roosterteeth.com/store.
If you go to the Rooster Teeth store, you'll see it. You'll think it's hentai. It's not. It's like it's more classy than that, but it's close.
It's getting there. Yeah, it's on the front page of the Rooster Teeth store.
This was a brainchild of Elise's for years, of just this whole idea of making brands into hot, sexy anime girls. Totally. And so, just so you know, it was created by a woman. Don't come at me, please. I love all. I am an equal opportunity offender. I love all anime characters. Big JoJo fan. Trying to get through season 1 and One Punch. There's too many shows. I'm sorry. And everyone says watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, even though it's not real anime. Or is it? I don't know. What's the rule?
I don't know.
What's the ruling?
You know what I mean? I just put all cartoons into the anime category, and then I'm done. I don't have to worry about it. Extreme Ghostbusters, anime.
Oh my God! Wow, you're the second person in my life other than James Williams to reference Extreme Ghostbusters.
I'll let you know it's on Hulu right now. You can go catch up.
That's the one with the punk girl and the wheelchair guy, right?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and Eduardo. Yeah.
My God, yeah, that one. Like, I love shows that you can smell. Like that and Pirates of Dark Water. You're just like, oh man, this smells like an old sock, and I want to enjoy this. Like it just stinks of the 90s. I love it. That's my jam. Man, good taste, Greg.
Egon had a ponytail. It's no big deal. Anyways, kindoffunny.com/funhouse. On top of that, we have 2 big sponsor Predator Hunting Ground streams this week, Wednesday at 4 p.m. and Friday at 2 p.m. Fridays is 3 hours long. You can get those on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. Today, our only sponsors are our Patreon producers. So please be like them and head over to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames to support this show, get it ad-free, and get the exclusive post show. So thank you to our Patreon producers, Mohammed, aka Momo, and Blackjack. But that's enough of that. Let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 4 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
Now, Adam, I don't want you thinking I'm half-assing it. All right, it's kind of Funhaus week. You come here and you think, 4 stories. Come on, Greg, where is it at? I'll let you know. 2 of these stories have multiple parts, multiple things. So there's a lot going on here. All right.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm no freshman to this whole thing. You can stretch a 4-hour, story thing into like 8 hours. I've seen you do it. And
sure. Oh yeah. Whatever I need.
Yeah. Just at a bar chatting in somewhere in Orlando. We've done that. We'll just talk and Greg won't shut up.
You know what I mean? That's how we do it.
Absolutely. Go, take it away. I want to know about this Last of Us stuff.
Number 1, I got a rock block of Last of Us part 2 news for you. Number 1, or I guess A, because this is the number 1 news story. A, though, the review embargo has been revealed, ladies and gentlemen. The reviews for The Last of Us Part 2 will hit Friday, June 12th at 12:01 a.m. Pacific time, of course. Adam, that's a full week out from when the rest of the world will be in their hands on The Last of Us. What's your read on that?
I want to know what score you're giving it. Can you tell me?
I can't.
I don't know what embargo means. I'm not good at the English.
You don't speak of English. Embargo, of course, Adam, as you know, means you can't talk about it until that time. You can't reveal your opinions until that time.
Okay. Well, darn. We didn't get a copy as far as I know, because I don't think Sony acknowledges we exist, except for the God of War team, which is like a couple blocks from our office.
Well, yeah, they can't get away from you over there egging Corey Barlog's house every day.
I know. I mean, he's just knocking on the door, like, let's hang out. And I'm like, put on your mask, you crazy man. I know. That came up so quick. I thought this game wasn't coming out until next year at some point.
Well, remember, the indefinite, when they indefinitely delayed it, we were all like, oh man, that's gonna be a long time. And they came back like 2 weeks later, like, all right, cool, it's just 3 weeks. We're like, oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, when you say indefinite, that all of a sudden I get PTSD of Cyberpunk, which just means it's going to be delayed until the end of the year. They're going to push it as far as they possibly can, but then June is so soon. Yeah. I'm legit excited for this. I guess it was sort of out of my mind for so long that now it's like, oh, remember Last of Us? Like, holy crap, it is coming out. Shoot, I need to probably get through Last of Us Remastered and kind of remember what the hell happened in the game, because it's been so long since I've played it.
And that's the thing about it. I think, that's interesting is there's varying levels of excitement. And what we keep talking about, Blessing and me, when we're talking on PS I Love You or whatever, it's like, we're excited for that game but it's not like it's a known quantity. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know, you don't know the twists and turns or whatever, the story, you don't know what the gameplay is going to be, but it's Naughty Dog, it's The Last of Us, it's probably going to be great. So I haven't felt that pressure of it like bearing down on you. Even getting review codes came really quickly and out of the blue, kind of, where it was like, all right, here you go, it's time to go. Oh fuck, okay, great. Like I had just been kicking around the idea with Jen of doing another playthrough of The Last of Us Remastered to get, like you're talking about, up to snuff and remember everything, even though I just done the Nick streams or whatever. But yeah, all of a sudden it was on us and it was here. And I think honestly, when we turn that corner next week and you start talking about it actually being June, it'll be a bit more clear how close that is. Because right now in this weird COVID time where time does not matter and it doesn't make sense anymore, I feel like, all right, June 12th, the embargo, meaning June 19th, the game. And is that close? Is that far? It doesn't matter.
I feel like, too, if there's a way to review games two different ways, like I wish you could give it a score when everyone else gives it a score. And there's like sort of like how when baseball players had to put the asterisk next to their name because they were doping or, they're doing steroids and juicing up. And you go, well, there's the caveat. So like when you first give the game score, it should be like, by the way, this is when everyone was reviewing it and I was sequestered for 2 weeks and it's all I played. So that was my entire life. And I had this weird sort of like fear of the world of like, if I give this game a bad score, everyone's going to like just hang me from a tree or something like that. Like if you could just say, here's the score with a bunch of hype behind it. And then I know some websites do like the like review, in
review or re-review.
In review, yeah, or like they'll review it like
review in progress.
Yeah, stuff like that. And it's like I feel like that's one thing I don't miss from our old like review days is the fear of not giving a game a good enough review. I remember people were praising me because I said that Force Unleashed 2 was pretty good when I beat it in a single night. And I was like, I thought it was okay. It was pretty good. And Hank be like, thanks. A lot of people are hating on this game. Thanks to you. But it's like now that time has gone on, we're like, yeah, it wasn't really the greatest game at all. Yeah. That's all I could really think of with The Last of Us. Like I'm going to enjoy it in my own world, and I don't have to really share my opinion with anyone. I feel, you guys are doing your review, I assume.
Yeah.
And I'm so scared for you. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I mean that's that. I hear you, and I appreciate that, but I think that's such I'm with you of how it used to be, right? Of how it used to be at an IGN, right? I think the benefit of reviewing stuff for Kind of Funny is that we just get to do our way, and all we do is talk about it, right? We're not Metacritic rated. We don't put scores on things. We just get to sit there and enjoy it. And knock on wood, you have as many voices as you can have on the actual review panel. So it isn't so much where it was. I remember exactly what we're talking about at IGN, where whether you loved or hated something, no matter what, putting your opinion out there, especially on a giant game, and then having it be, all right, not only what is the audience going to think of this, what are my peers going to be? Because that is the thing of this is all so subjective. What I like in a game isn't what you like in a game. And, it isn't what Kevin likes in a game, or it is. And it goes on that way. So to get to that point where I remember doing those reviews for big games. I mean, Uncharted 3, right? That I gave a 10, and so many people are like, it is not a 10. And so many other people are like, it is a 10. And it's like this thing of I get both sides of that argument, but I hated it more than anything. Like I don't mind the shit on the internet, but I did hate it at being at IGN and people at IGN giving me shit about it. Where I'm like, motherfucker, you do this too. You know exactly what I'm doing and what I'm going through. And I played it this way, and that's what I thought, and this is where it shakes out.
Oh, it's a strange, also sort of like internal tribal mentality. I remember us arguing in a room for many hours about why we thought Skyrim was the best game of that year and how they're like, but it didn't win anything else in any other category. How could it be the best game of the year? And it's like, well, it didn't do anything better than any other games, but collectively it was the best game of that year. And it was so hard having these conversations. It was like, why are we defending this piece of media for so long? Like, Pete Hines isn't in the room, like being like, you're going to hurt, it's like
raining $100 bills on you.
Yeah. And like, I gain nothing from a game getting a better score or a worse score or anything like that. But it's like, you do have this sort of tribal mentality of like, I'm team this game, or like, no, I think it's a 10. No, I think it's a 9. You're like, what the hell's the difference? I don't know, man. It's like, realistically, if it's like above an 8, I think that's pretty good. No, I mean, even then, it's like, what does an 8 mean to you? And then I don't know. That
was the thing at IGN. I always hated the top 25 lists we would do for whatever, and like top 25 PS3 games or Vita games or whatever the hell it's going to be. And then I would hate doing game of the year, because eventually it got to that thing where, all right, we're arguing about great games. Why do I need to break into a camp and like now I need to feel like I need to fight to the death to defend my game over your game? Like, well, this isn't fun. This isn't what it's about.
Well, then also I remember for that year, it would be like, I need to play everything. Like I'll play, Red Dead, or not Red Dead. What's it called? Red Faction Guerrilla. I'll 100% it and do all these games so that I have a strong opinion of these things. And I realized by the end of the year, it was like, I had like no personal time. All I did was play video games. Which is fine. But then you're like, it's like the Academy, right? Where like, so many people vote on movies they haven't seen. I can't imagine the people voting on video games most of the time played everything all the way through and have an actual like strong, educated opinion about these things. Sort of like, well, I know more about this thing. And so like, it just seems so nebulous at some point where you go, awards for video games just seem to be like, I think we can all just collectively agree if something's good or bad.
Yeah.
At some point.
And that's what I enjoy more, obviously, than the debate or rating or anything like that is when we do on the Gamescast, when we're coming up to Game Awards or whatever, we'll sit there and try to guess who's going to win. And it is that game of, well, yeah, I know that Disco Elysium's awesome, but I also know a lot of people didn't play that all the way through. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that this will beat it, or that you start playing that game of chess of trying to think about what the judges are actually playing and how much they're actually playing of what game.
What I personally love these days are these more like long form essay type videos, like I don't know if you've seen Reykjavik's channel, or these guys will do like somewhere between a half hour to like a 2-hour review of a game, and there's no score. It's just like, now that time has passed and I've played this thing to completion, these are my thoughts. And you go, oh my God, like I enjoy this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But you can't get that on Embargo. You know what I mean? Like you have to say, I liked it, or it's good, or my game doesn't start, so I can't give it a review.
I'm waiting on the day one patch. They say it'll fix this. Yeah.
I kept trying to play Last of Us on my Xbox and it didn't work. Why? And they got
this code work. No, yeah, I think with our this year with the reviews, whether it be Resident Evil 3 or Final Fantasy or the like, what I've enjoyed about those is we do a great job of, we all run off and play those games, and then when we come together and review it on the Gamescast, it's the first time we actually talk about it. Like usually those conversations haven't happened before, so it's more of what you're talking about, where I think it is more powerful even than when I would sit there, be the only person in the office to play the game, write the review, put it up, and go live before anybody else played it. Having the ability to sit there and have Tim or Imran or Blessing say something about what they liked or didn't like, and have it affect my opinion of it, right? Or answer a question I had that then gives me clarity on why this is happening. Pretty powerful.
Yeah. Anyway, we can move on. Sorry.
No. I mean, we're still talking about The Last of Us. Don't worry about that. So we're gonna.
Okay.
I just want to say, so yeah, we're doing that, of course, for the Gamescast, Friday, June 12th, 12:01 a.m. Pacific time. That is The Last of Us Part 2 embargo for the review. Also, of course, Sony seems pretty confident in giving a review embargo a week before release, and then letting reviewers like me announce 3 weeks early that they have it. So that's plenty of time to play through it. However, will you like The Last of Us? You get to decide tomorrow, because there's going to be a state of play about it. Yes, we are doing a live reaction to it. We'll talk about that in a second, though. Sid Schumann on the PlayStation blog writes, "Hi, all. We're putting the finishing touches on a new episode of State of Play that airs Wednesday, May 27th at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch and YouTube. Naughty Dog Vice President and The Last of Us Part 2 director Neil Druckmann will give you a special preview of The Last of Us Part 2 coming to PlayStation 4 June 19th. Neil will walk you through details of the gameplay experience and story. The current cut is clocking in at a little more than 20 minutes, ending with an extended sequence showing off about 8 minutes of never-before-seen gameplay. And no, there won't be any PlayStation 5 news or updates in this episode, just a deep dive into the world of The Last of Us Part 2.
Wow, Adam, what a twist the knife there at the end.
They've said it every time they have any kind of announcement coming up, because they're just so sick of people getting excited for no reason. Will you be watching this, or are you trying to go in on blackout?
I think I'll go in blank, actually, just because of the spoilers that came out and that unfortunate leak. And I've been some, obviously, just in our world, some stuff made its way to my eyeballs, and I feel like I've seen enough. So I kind of want to just go in blank. And this is one of those games that I want to just chill and play and cry all on my own. I've got a whole bunch of I got a lot of tissues next to the couch, unrelated, but
it's already there. Oh, you already have the tissues ready to go. Okay.
Yeah, and some lotion, but that's something.
You have dry skin. No, I know that for a fact.
I think it's eczema. Actually, I've been using this new lotion, and it's been so much better. Yeah, I think I just have. It's something with the LA water. They put it's just like it's hard water, and it just kills your skin, man.
You don't have a water softener?
I might not. I might have to. Yeah, that's one of the things I got to do.
That'll get you everything.
I don't know. I want my water hard.
It was an interesting announcement, I think, because I don't know how many people need to be sold on the gameplay of The Last of Us. You know what I mean? They already did the one state of play, and I know you need to remind people of it, but it's also that fine line of if I hadn't if it didn't already have a review copy, I wouldn't want to watch this. Like, Kind of Funny is doing a live reaction. I won't be a part of it, obviously, because I'm compromised. I don't want to go in there and fake it and be like, oh man, did you see that attack?
Well, for the rest of us, the unsullied, the dirt people, as
the
subhumans, Greg calls them, as he walks on our back to shield his boots from the mud. Yeah, I think there's people right around now who need that sort of E3 fix.
Yeah,
and we need those. We want those extended gameplay things. 20 minutes is long. That's a long chunk, but that's sort of what it is these days, right? It's like, hey, we have your attention. There's going to be 1.3 million people, hundreds of thousands of people watching this, and it's like, they from the corporate side, they want to get those pre-order numbers up, and there haven't really been a lot of things other than the leaks happening right now. So like, you can imagine after this thing, they're going to see a big bump. They're going to get a lot of pre-orders, and then they're going to up their spending on billboards and advertising, all that stuff, because they're going to show the pre-order numbers to their client. Sony's going to go, awesome, cool, and then they're going to sell more copies. So that's my guess of why they're doing it now. If I were to put on my Illuminati hat.
It's to your point. Well, yeah, I think it's just video game marketing, right? Like it's expected, but it's that interesting thing, especially now, right? If they need to take the messaging back. I think for so long now it has been this running. Okay, well, what are people talking about? They're talking about the leaks, and so I think you see this campaign of letting people announce today the embargo on a Tuesday, tomorrow come out with this giant gameplay section to remind people, I think, something that they do forget, right? That you can have the cutscenes spoiled for you. You can have events of the game spoiled for you, but still the game is lots and lots of hours, you assume. I forget what Hallie said in one of her things, that it was double the size of Last of Us 1. It's a lot of hours of you actually playing the game. And so it is about that journey. It is about point A to point Z, not about what happens on the way there or how it happens.
Yeah, I that's the other thing too, is like, regardless of whatever happens in this, I'm at this point where in media, pretty much everything has been done in some way, and you could always shock and scare people. At the end of the day, it is a video game, and I want the gameplay to be good. Yeah, and I could be, it's like I could be playing as a horse through this world, and I think it'd still be interesting because of their sort of twist on the zombie genre, and that's what I like about it. And I'm kind of a Troy Baker groupie, and that's fine. But I do
follow.
Well, I like this too, because unlike anything else they've ever done before, this is sort of like their Judge Dredd in speaking of like the comic book, of like time is actually affecting these characters, as opposed to like Drake, who's just not affected at all by it's always just like, hey, I remember how we got married and divorced. Like, when did this happen? Was this a comic book? What? I don't know. And then but it's like Drake's like, man, it's tough being 50 with this perfect chest and amazing hair. And by the way, I have a brother.
Everything,
This is a game where it's like, Joel looks like he's affected by time. Ellie feels like she's affected by time, and like the world is moving forward. And like, so that's it's obviously that is a different franchise that they're doing. And that's what I want to see, is like, I'm curious to see what they do this world. What is it? 5-10 years later? I don't know the time.
Yeah. It's 4 years after the events of Last of Us Part 1 in game timeline.
So that's more for me, is like, I'm more interested in experiencing it as it happens. So regardless, I'm like, I know I'm gonna have a good bad time.
I think everybody's ready to have a good bad time about it, right? Nanobiologist wrote in patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. It says, hey, Greg and Adam, over the weekend we got a big announcement, a TLU 2 stream on Wednesday. My biggest question isn't this weird that they showed off the Ghost of Tsushima before the game that's coming out first? Could this have been a way to calm down the crowd and not have the new features to be shown off as associated with the leaks? Or am I overthinking this, since we have still seen very little of Ghost until we had the state of play? For me, it's very much Nano that this is marketing 101 again, where they know how loud and involved the crowd around The Last of Us Part 2 is. And that I think if you were to go first with Last of Us, then try to insert Ghost, then bring the conversation back to Last of Us for release and review and everything, that would get too cumbersome and unwieldy. Like, give us Ghost before we're just talking about, before you really realize and it sets in how close we are to Last of Us Part 2. Instead, give us Ghost, let it have that time to shine, let it have its week that it had, or maybe even week and a half, right, of people actually freaking out about it.
Yeah. And like I said too, this is with the absence of E3, and also Sony had already announced they weren't going to be at E3. I think this is them figuring out how to do their Nintendo Direct in a way of like what makes sense to promote now. And then also they're on the cusp of PS5. Like I imagine their internal marketing and distribution team is just like, there's a lot of probably messaging going on right now, and like trying to figure out how to put things out at a time. And at some point, that's just sort of how things line up. And they go, we have to do it this way because it will make sense in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think Greg and I kind of see the matrix and we see the numbers and we go, this makes sense from a marketing perspective.
Exactly. From the business.
Some weird way.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, when does Ghosts come out? Actually, I missed
July.
that part. Oh my God. That's
July 17th, I believe. I'm expanding my calendar. July 17th.
I assumed that was going to be coming out this holiday with a little flute guy, like pre-order, but damn.
No, it's not. It's there. Yeah, I think, and that again is another one of PlayStation's interesting 2020, as we all have, right? Of how the hell this all actually shakes out with a pandemic affecting video game production sales. When do you put stuff out? When do you not have stuff walk all over it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think the idea too right now is everyone's like, let's get this stuff out before Cyberpunk.
Yeah, also true. Yeah.
Not that things ever line up that way. Obviously, movie and video game production are those things that are just like, there's so many people working on this stuff that it's always sort of a miracle that it gets done.
Yeah.
So yeah, to be able to, and also, man, it's been so long since we've had a Sucker Punch game, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah, I can't wait for Ghost. It's a good summer here for being a video game fan, let alone a PlayStation fan, let alone getting to Cyberpunk, let alone getting to Series X and PlayStation 5. In kindoffunny.com/you're wrong, where you can keep us honest. Capitalist Pig says Wikipedia states it's 5 years between the games, not 4, as I said. So there you go.
Oh, well, there you go. Then off by a year. Might as well just quit now, Greg.
Fucking stuck. Can't keep it straight. You know what I mean? And then we have one final Last of Us piece of news for you. It's banned apparently in the Middle East. This is James Batchelor over at GamesIndustry.biz. PlayStation Adventure: The Last of Us Part 2 seems to have been blocked from release in multiple Middle Eastern countries. The game is due to launch globally on June 19th, but currently does not appear among the listings for the Saudi Arabia or United Arab Emirates versions of the PlayStation Store. You can still buy dynamic themes and avatars based on the game, and the PlayStation Arabia Twitter account is still promoting tomorrow's State of Play broadcast, which will go into more detail about the title. One Reddit user, spotted by VG247, reports that PlayStation support said any game that does not appear in a regional store has been, quote, banned by the competent authorities of this country, and we cannot do anything regarding that, end quote. GamesIndustry.biz has contacted Sony for more information. No reason for the ban has emerged yet, although it's most likely due to either the nudity and sexual content mentioned in the ESRB rating, as can be seen on the official website, or the LGBT themes that often lead to entertainment products being banned in the region. As VG247 notes, the ban may not harm the game sales in the area, as prepaid PlayStation game cards can be purchased online from other markets that still work on the regional stores. There are also third-party retailers in the area that will import copies of the game from overseas.
Gotcha. Well, it's always a shame to have anything banned anywhere you are when it's just, I don't think the game has an agenda or anything like that. They just want to tell a story. So
you're gonna tell me that SJW Neil Druckmann isn't pushing this down my fucking throat, making me this soy boy? He did this to me. I never thought like this before.
All I know, I mean, at the very end, they at the end of the game, they give you a quiz and you need to pass it in order to move to the next area to see if you're progressive enough. And then they also,
should you respect women? Yes or no? Fuck, I don't know. What do I do?
They take your voting card and they change it.
Goddamn, hard lock your PlayStation. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see this develop, to see if it is actually there, if they'll actually get a statement as to what about it pushed it. Obviously, as the Games Industry Updates article calls out, it would seem like, the nudity, sexual content, or maybe the LGBTQ stuff in there is going to be the reason for it. But that sucks.
Yeah,
and that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, hey, here in the West where we're free, we get all the breasts and dongs that we want. It's we're living life, la vida loca, baby.
I mean, the breasts we're still kind of conservative on. It's the violence we don't give a shit about. Fucking put a shotgun in somebody's mouth, blow their head off. We don't give a flying fuck. Show a nipple, fuck off.
Yeah, if my pants start to feel tight, then God will be angry.
I was gonna say you're impure. You've impured yourself.
I'm just living with all this sin inside me. I better ban this video game that's trying to just,
Is bringing
tell
out all
its
these
tale.
feelings, Yeah, no.
I
Number
mean,
2 on the Roper Report is a super simple one. No Man's Sky is coming to Xbox Game Pass and Windows 10 PC in June. That's it.
Woot.
Yeah.
Game
So
Pass is it's a pretty good deal these days.
dude,
I
Game
feel
Pass
like.
is fucking insane. So fucking insane. Like, yeah. And in No Man's Sky, I mean, obviously the journey that Hello Games and Sean Murray and No Man's Sky, the team, have been on is incredible. Let alone now, just if you have Xbox Game Pass to pop down and get it and see what that game's all about now. Good for them.
I look forward to Anthem going through the same thing.
Yeah. Well, you think is Anthem going to make the rebound? Do you think it's going to have a No Man's Sky moment when it comes back, or is it just going to be like, oh, this is fun?
I think it will, but it's going to be called Anthem 2 or Anthems. Like I think they're just going to ditch what they have now and just go, we fixed it. Here's the second one.
Yeah.
Ignore this thing here. Look at this. Yeah. It's the EA way. So
yeah, I'll be interesting because whenever we talk about Fallout 76 or Anthem, everybody's like, oh, are they going to have a No Man's Sky moment? And it's that thing where, although launch expectations were so high for No Man's Sky, they weren't high in the same way I think you regard a BioWare game or you regard a Bethesda game. And so I feel like even though both of those games, Fallout 76 has done a lot of work and already put it out, and the way EA is talking about, or BioWare is talking about coming back to Anthem, even getting those games back and having that moment, I can't imagine how different those games would have to look to have that moment where they weren't the punchline to everybody who wants to leave an angry internet comment.
Yeah, everyone says that about, Anthem needs to have the No Man's Sky. I think BioWare needs to have its software moment where they are but a shadow of what was the thing that made them great, and now it's time where like it's basically a new class, and go, hey, let's get away from those things of all this basically history and just do our own thing.
Yeah.
Where like Blizzard, I think, has the same issue where it's just like you have so many greats before you that you don't want to sully the reputation of what it is. But most of those guys who found those companies are gone. And
right. Yeah. It's just a name.
Yeah. So like BioWare they just need to go, okay, what is the DNA? What makes BioWare? And then how do we bring that into the modern century? And like Doom and Doom Eternal absolutely did that. And so, yeah, fingers crossed they go, what game do we want to play? But at the same time, what has a deep story and cool RPG elements and these sort of things that we loved and what brought us here to this company, instead of I want my Iron Man moment. Like, okay, that's substance, or that's surface. We want substance.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
you need something beyond the suit, right?
Yeah.
Will be interesting to watch. Speaking of interesting to watch, Greg Way, number 3 on the Roper Report. IGN announced their summer of gaming, and they detailed it. They'd already announced it. They actually gave out a lot of details. Adam, if you look, I have a hyperlink here that says, let's look at the schedule. I'm going to read the intro to it, but we're going to go through that if you want to look at it. Joe Skrebbels at IGN writes, we at IGN are happy to reveal the schedule for our summer of gaming event in June, including our brand new IGN Expo Showcase, where we will debut exclusive game reveals, trailers, gameplay demos, and more. We're also excited to announce a series of chariot events and special icon segments featuring interviews from iconic developers about some of the world's most influential games. We've got a packed month of game reveals to bring you, not least with 3 days of IGN Expo, our own showcase for exclusive announcements and reveals from developers across the industry, taking place June 5, 8, and 9. IGN Expo will come alongside other announcements and shows from our partners across the industry throughout the month, including the likes of CD Projekt Red, Blizzard, and Xbox, all accompanied by our team's expert analysis in pre- and post-show coverage. You'll want to check out the full schedule for all the announcements, but over the month, we'll be bringing you everything from Cyberpunk 2077 details to next-gen footage to brand new game reveals to exclusive footage from the likes of Wasteland 3, New World, Samurai Jack, Battle for Time, and much more. And then, as I said, they have this giant old schedule up here if you can go to IGN.com to find it. But I like this little cool graphic they made. You know what I mean? Because you can just glance at it, you open it up.
I like to mock IGN because of the big guy, as they should be. They're the top dog, but God, their graphics team is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, all their thumbnails always look so good, and all their graphics packages look amazing, and all their news and video reviews.
All right, we get it. You like it, right?
I know. I want Max to grow a beard. If you could do it.
Join us, Max, please.
You stupid, tall, beautiful man. Grow up some facial hair and join the rest of us down here in the dirt.
Definitely worth going over and checking out on IGN as you glance through it. They have these beautiful graphics up that you can go look at it and stuff. And I like the way they've done it. I think, the one thing we've talked a lot about with Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest, right, is that it's a bit more ambiguous of, he puts the things up there, you don't really know, okay, well, what is it? Where's it going? Like IGN has a packed schedule day to day, right? You look at even June 5th and it's like, it breaks it down into reveals, trailers, gameplay, right? And like reveals, unannounced game, Funcom / The Outsiders, unannounced game for Merge game, unannounced game reveal in the exclusive reveal trailer. Like they have stuff on here letting you know, like setting expectations, which I think is so important that some people are getting away from on this, of course, which is where people are going to get burned.
Well, there's some interesting stuff in here too. Like June 6th, they have the pre-show charity stream, and they have so it's like kind of a games done quick aspect to it. So having a Fallout speed run thrown into this is like, we're so far away from what E3 used to be that everyone's breaking off and doing their own weird thing, and I'm okay with it. I'm like, hey, have fun, go nuts, do these. Also, having worked, I know you've been there too. Having worked E3s for many years, putting a show together like this is a nightmare.
Oh my God, totally. I can't imagine what it's like over there right now as they talk about all this and how they're working through it. And it's interesting, even as you look at it and you read, Joe Skrebbels, announcement of it, right? Of like, they have all these different things, but then they have their own showcase. They're talking specifically on June 5th, 8th, and 9th, right? Which are like their more hosted days, but then it's them partnering with stuff. And that's the one thing you talk about, there's so many different events going on, Adam. I feel like in some ways, there's a lot of, we're just moving things around and calling them different things. We're even, we've talked about this a lot when we talk about the Summer Game Fest from Jeff Keighley, right? Of, well, wait, what's the original content versus what stuff you could get anywhere? Like, the IGN calls out the Cyberpunk stuff. I'm assuming that's just the Cyberpunk event that's happening, right? Where they're like, okay, cool. The Cyberpunk showcase they've already announced. We'll be hosting that, doing pre and post show for it, right? But that's why it's interesting when they call out their exact days of, like June 5th, where it's like, this is exclusive. This is their own thing. Because it is, the specific dates are calling out, but then they have other stuff, right? Where like even June 6th, right? Like, they're doing the Fallout speedrunner thing. Then they're showing the Guerrilla Collective, which again is the thing we're doing with the Media Indie Exchange, the mix. They're covering both. They're not covering it, I guess, necessarily. Maybe they are doing pre and post shows for it, but they're definitely showing the showcase from the Guerrilla Collective on all 3 days. So June 6th, 7th, and 8th, that'll be on there. But then they're also putting in different content with it. They're pairing it up with the PC gaming show. Upload VR showcase is happening on June 8th as well. So it's this. And more power to them, credit to it, of IGN trying to be the one-stop shop, right? Where if something's happening, you can just go there and watch it. Yeah.
This we've seen this with our audience in E3 is that like we'll do historically we've done our like drunk E3 coverage where we take shots when we play E3 bingo, and we'll get something stupid like 30,000 people watching, and we're like, you don't need to and people are like, what? Can you guys please shut up? I'm trying to watch this.
I know, right?
And I think it's just one of those things where it's like, well, yeah, even if it's being plugged into through someone else, people go to IGN because they're subscribed to it. It's just like that thing you do through gritted teeth of like, fine, they have everything because they're goddamn IGN, and they've been there. They are big. They've always been big, and they'll continue to be big because the beast is never ending and only getting larger. So yeah,
no, I'm right there with you. We do pre and post shows for all the conferences, traditional E3 stuff, and we do live reactions and stuff. And it kills me every time that we're doing it and getting huge numbers for us. And somebody will be in there like, we stop talking over it. I'm like, why the fuck are you here? Like, why did you come here if you didn't want us to talk a little bit over this or engage with it? Like, you can go watch it.
It might be because like they're in chat and they want to share with those people, and they they want to have their conversation. I get. I think we were talking about before this whole thing went down that we were like, maybe we'll just do 2 streams, one without commentary, one with commentary. But then we're just rebroadcasting. But I mean, at the same time, they don't care. They just want exposure. So they're, I hate saying it that way, like they're a starving artist. Sony just wants some exposure, and we will pay them and such. But I mean, it got to the point where not like recently they've been sending us links and being like, hey, if you want to air this, go nuts, put it on your stream. Like, that's cool. That's the one thing I do like about the gaming industry, where it's like they're just like, put it everywhere, get it up there, do your commentary, do your thing, talk over it, whatever, it's fine. So I mean, IGN's just doing that as they probably should.
Yeah, I saw in chat a couple questions go by of what does this mean for Kind of Funny's coverage of it. It's a great question, and I don't necessarily have the answers for you. Obviously, this just dropped before we went live today. Tim and I need to talk about everything else. Like, we're gonna EA Play, there will be a reaction for, right? The Xbox stuff, there's going to be a reaction. That's easy. Those are things. For IGN Expo, that's a different ball of wax, right? Because obviously, are we going to go there and talk over Damon's interview of someone? Probably not. That doesn't make sense. And if they're just revealing a trailer or something, then probably we would wait and get the trailer and react to that. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go and see also how clearly they're messaging that. If it's the IGN Expo is, June 5th, starting at 9 a.m., like, are they going to tell us specifically when the other times of those things come? And would they want us to react to that and all these other things? Like, we'll have to figure it out. But I also don't know how much I would have to say of like their gameplay reveal of Blanco's block party. Like, I don't know if I have anything to say. I don't know what that is. I don't know. But like, that's where it also gets interesting for all these games of this struggle of, I think when you're a smaller game, the benefit of being in an Xbox or a PlayStation press conference was that you got revealed to a million different people, right? And so for an IGN Expo, which is so long, and I know that it's 3 days, but then it's partnered with an entire month of coverage, like, do you lose that must-see TV vibe of it, where you have, like, during what it was at Saturday with EA Play through Tuesday morning of Nintendo Direct, that was like during E3 shit you knew you need to watch, and there was only so many you had to watch. Whereas now with this and Summer Game Fest and all these different events that are happening, it's gonna be really hard to keep everyone's attention.
And then Game Awards at the end of the year, and then if there's any other iteration of that. That there is something lost there, and I think we all kind of knew this was happening with E3 kind of going through its slow death process. That I will miss those. I love those press conference days where you can just you enjoy those. You have to be there and you have to see what is there, and even you're there for the home runs and you're there for the whiffs, and sometimes it's a whiff and you go, what the hell was that? And it's fun to talk about, but I know. I mean, sometimes they're like, I need to fill a slot. I don't know. Here's Tony Hawk Ride. Who cares? This board is filled with technology. Tony Hawk, shut the fuck up. Who told you to say that? Shut up. The guy who some gave him a $2 million check and he said, I'll talk about your
I'm not sure. Let's go. That's filled with technology. Why not? Basically, IGN and Jeff Keighley need to just come together and make one giant show next year. That way there's just one thing.
They won't though. I mean, this
in the
Nintendo. As much as people give people shit to Nintendo for not innovating or just kind of doing the same thing, they were ahead of the game with the whole Nintendo Direct, and this is what it's becoming. Oh, I got a package.
Oh,
from
Rooster. Don't show your address.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
Speaking of figuring it out, number 4 on the Roper Report. Damn these data miners. I got 2 for you today. A Berlin map has been found in Mafia 3. This is James O'Connor at GameSpot. Mafia 3 Definitive Edition, the newly released version of Mafia 3 that includes all the game's DLC, seems to include a new asset within it. Files have been discovered within the game that show off a map of Berlin, and although it's missing textures, the full town map seems to be in there. On YouTube, Slider V2 has posted a video, as seen on Reset Era, exploring the map as Mafia 3 protagonist Lincoln Clay, showing it from both the air and the ground. While the video does not explain how the map was accessed, it lines up with earlier reports about a canceled game by developer Hangar 13. A 2018 report on Kotaku about the developer outlined their plans for a new game, Rhapsody, which would be an 80s set spy game that saw you playing a Russian Jew out for revenge for the murder of their parents. The video does not provide much insight into how the game would have played, but it looks like at least most of the map had been laid out. Rhapsody did not go ahead, but it seems that the map survived in the files of Mafia 3 Definitive Edition. Hangar 13's next game will be the remake Mafia Definitive Edition, releasing August 28th for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. That's the kind of stuff I like, Adam. I like when data miners go in there and find this kind of thing. Here's this relic. Here's this old cool thing that you would never have thought would have been hidden in the files. Yeah, the entire map of Berlin is here.
Mm-hmm. When you go look at it, the reasoning. I like the reasoning behind it. Like whenever, I remember this back in Halo 2 where people found like a room it was like a mix of like Flood and some other, I think it was Brutes, maybe something like that, but they were never in the game. And they're like, why didn't they use them? It's like, because there's some weird logic there where if they took that thing out, the whole game would implode on itself. So you have to like The Witcher, they just have a hole that they put everything into, and there's some part in the game that relies on this working, but it has to stay in there, but it needs to stay invisible to the player. But then it's always really cool when people find these weird sorts of things. I actually never played Mafia 3, so I this is all new to me. That was the one set in the 70s, I believe, in New Orleans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you were driving around as just a neat little thing of this game, a glimpse into what could have been. Now, here's the kind that I don't like. Division 2 secrets might have been revealed also by data mining. This is Zach Wiesen over at Kotaku. A data mining fan has found and shared what seems to be the possible next few months of story updates for the Division 2 buried in the new public test server build of the game. On May 22nd, the Division 2 got a public test server and players could download and play this new version of the game. The idea is Ubisoft will update and change the PTS and get feedback from players before bringing those changes to the main game. Reddit user definitely anal T16 so decided to comb through the new files in this PTS build of the game and found what appears to be hundreds of new audio files detailing upcoming story events and narrative beats. Kotaku reached out to Ubisoft Kotaku reached out to Ubisoft about these files and how they might factor into future content. The audio files that the user found are a mix of what sounds like new audio logs and radio conversations, as well as some enemy barks. Stuff like, he's over there, get him. Some audio lines are voiced by real people and actors. Other lines are being read by what sounds like a text-to-speak program. This is very likely placeholder audio that's still being tested. Kotaku has all the actual spoilers there if you want to read it. It seems like Manhunt stuff, if you've been following the seasons, maybe revealing who the big bad of the next Manhunt would be. This next part is not a spoiler for the story, but spoilers possibly for a new mode that I was going to read about here. That, again, from Zach's report. What has some
now, if you don't want spoilers,
I guess, but it's just maybe for a mode that might happen. I don't think it's that bad. What has some Division 2 fans excited are audio files that seem to reference a possible new game mode. In the audio files, you can hear what sounds like Agent Kelso talking about taking over a skyscraper. She mentions checkpoints, safe rooms, and congratulates players for reaching the top. What's really interesting is an audio file that seems to imply this content will be replayable. In the file, Kelso says, quote, think you can clear that skyscraper faster if you do it again. Players have long wanted, infinitely playable modes in the Division 2, like the Underground in the first game. So many are latching onto these new audio files as a confirmation of such a mode is coming. But remember that unused and scrap files can be found in almost every modern video game, aka the thing we just read about with Mafia 3.
Yep. All the time. Are you you're a Division 2 fan? You still playing?
Division 2. Yeah. I was back in when they started the season stuff up, where I don't know if you followed it, but they've been doing stuff every week with their battle pass and working through that. I was getting deep into it. I still haven't gone back and finished off the main person. You hunt down the 4 like underlings and then go after the big bad. And so I think I still have to do one of the underlings, maybe 2 of them, because they're released every other week or every few weeks, and then whatever. But yeah, love the Division 2. That's and right. I think this skyscraper thing sounds awesome.
Cool. Well, yeah, I am. I'm a passive fan. I'm rooting for the game. I'm glad people enjoy and it's doing well, because it seemed like there were so many of these like Destiny type games coming out. These like these never ending semi-persistent worlds. But from what I've seen online, Division 2 seems to be doing it the best, which is great. I'm like, good, as long as people have something that's fun to go back to. People who play it seem to really like it. You being one of them. Yeah,
and it's that thing where I can't speak for everybody, and I'm not trying to. Again, like I talked about this one, being a bummer. I feel it's a bummer if you're massive and you've been working on the storyline and you want to surprise people and tease people, and then the stuff leaks out, similar to the Naughty Dog stuff. Mm-hmm. The story stuff, like the story in the Division, is not why I play the Division, right? Like it's literally like the way they describe it of like, this person looks like it would be the person who's going to be the next Manhunt. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I don't even know who I'm hunting now. I'm just fucking out there killing people. Let me go kill the bad guys and get the loot. That's what I want.
Every time you log in, Tom Clancy's corpse gets another $5, so that's all that matters. What's that?
I said he deserves it. He earned it by having nothing to do with the Division except putting his name on it.
We have mocked him endlessly, and I ran into his son at a party once, and he was like, "Love you guys, love everything you do," except he didn't watch Funhaus stuff. He watched the Inside Gaming news stuff. I was like,
cool, let's go. Never talk again. Bye.
Yeah, never mocked your dad there. Sorry, man. Sorry, Clancy Jr. But he was very nice. He was a very nice guy.
What party were you at where he showed up?
Might have been an IGN party. It was an E3 party. It was something, but we always just joke where it's like at some point Tom Clancy was just had a rubber stamp. He's like, "Yep, that looks good."
Totally, right?
Yeah, more around the Splinter Cell stuff. Yeah, like
Clancy Jr. Like he must be fucking doing quite well for himself, just sitting there watching these games come out.
He didn't wear the hat like old Pops, but Yeah, he was very nice. He was a nice gentleman, so it was a good meeting him. That's my Tom Clancy story of the week. If you want to see more of those, check out my blog spot that is currently 18 plus.
Wow. Okay. Well, I understand you're working on your OnlyFans content over there. Adam, I'm excited to see what happens in the Division 2, but whatever's going to happen next is still so far away. If I wanted something more immediate, say what came to the mom and grop shops today, where would I go?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show host each and every weekday.
Yeah. Out today, Uta Waronomonano. Prelude to the Fallen on PS4 and It Lives, the PlayStation Vita. Wildfire on PC. The Elder Scrolls Online, Greymore, PC and Mac. Rune Lord on PlayStation 4. Minecraft Dungeons, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch and PC. Quantum League on PC. Castle Pals on PlayStation 4. Dr. Doodoo Pants' Evil Lair, Wonder Swan Zune.
That's a joke. That's a joke, right?
I don't fucking know. Wonder Swan and Zune are the platforms listed by Kotaku on that one. All right. Summer Pause on PC, Cars and Crystals on PC, The Lost Labyrinth on PC, Johnny Ace Tennis 2 on Switch and PC. I'm not making that up. Johnny Ace Tennis 2.
I love Johnny Ace, Johnny 5 Aces. Is that a reference to what that is? The Zyborn Clock? Is that what that is? Anyone?
Know. Johnny Ace is Nick's stupid tennis character he does all the time around here that he thought he made up, and then it turned out to be a real person, and it's very annoying. Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath is on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and Stadia. Dimension of Dreams is on PC. Red Dead Online players get a free tarot card map this week and earn an extra 50% while selling completed tarot card sets. Tiny Little Kingdoms is out now on iOS and Android. PUBG gets an update 7.2. It's available on PC, Stadia, and consoles. The latest version of PUBG introduces a long-awaited ranked mode, changes to shotguns, jerry cans, and other gameplay tweaks. What the fuck? I don't know what a jerry can is, but it made me laugh real good. And then Predator Hunting Grounds gets an update today, and the Dutch DLC is available.
Yeah. That's my horrible. They got Chopper. Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't do a short thing. New dates for you. Keen, One Girl Army is coming to Nintendo Switch and Steam June 25th. And then Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human are coming to Steam June 18th, 2020.
It finally happened. We did it.
It finally happened. This is what you've been waiting for, right? You love David Cage games, and it's time to jump right into them.
And I said, I refuse to support the Epic Games Store. I will only play them on Steam where they were meant to be played, not... As a what's the game called? Beyond Two Souls fan, and I still defend David Cage's ability to put naked celebrities in video games. I can finally play it on the pervert platform known as Steam. Cannot wait.
Exactly. Get any other weird ass game you want there. Go do your Turbo Time. Deals of the day for you. We have the next round of games with gold on Xbox for you. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is going to be available June 1st through the 30th on Xbox One. Coffee Talk, available June 16th to July 15th on Xbox One. I played a bit of that back in the day when it released on PSN. Real fun, just narrative game where you're just going through and making the choices and, making conversations and making coffee. Destroy All Humans. June 1st to the 15th on Xbox One and Xbox 360. And then Sign More, I'm probably fucking that up. June 16th to the 30th on Xbox One and Xbox 360. Then we have a PlayStation. Xbox 360.
What is that? Is that like a skateboard?
It's your lineage. You know what I mean? You gave up on it. You forgot about it, man. Don't ever forget about it.
Can I change the front faceplate to something really cool?
You sure can. Well, not to something cool, but you can change it. You can change it to a very lame faceplate that they tried to make cool if you want.
Oh god.
PlayStation Plus 2 is announced early a new game coming to it. This is from the Twitter. PlayStation Plus members, Call of Duty World War II is part of the monthly games lineup for June and will be available for download starting May 26th. That's today. We'll share additional details of our monthly lineup later this week. Enjoy. So a weird one that makes me think maybe that's not one of the full-blown PlayStation Plus things, because they usually announce it all together and then put it out the first Tuesday, the PSN update of the month. So maybe this is something additional for June. You'll get 3 next week or in June. Who knows? Right now, you can go get Call of Duty World War II if you want it.
Hey, I got a free Call of Duty. Just take it. That's the second to newest one or third to new. I can't remember when they come out. It's every year.
Well, the last one was just Warzone, right?
Oh yeah. It was Modern Warfare, but then they put out Warzone. Yeah, and then before that was World War II, unless maybe they had jetpacks. I forget. Yeah, I'm trying to remember that. They've been doing yearly for God, as long as the United States has been a thing. It feels like it's just.
Which one had blackout? That was Black Ops 4, right?
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah, it was World War II, Black Ops 4. Then that's right.
Modern Warfare. Then
there are 3 studios as of now. Technically, like 5 or 6, but. Yeah, because Raven's still shoved in there somewhere.
Yeah, they got their game taken away from them, which is going to be the next Call of Duty. Let's not get back into it.
They made Jedi Outcast. It's one of the best games ever made.
They made fucking X-Men Origins Wolverine. All right, brother. That's what they made.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Story of a cool gameplay.
Man, I love that. I think I'm 2 achievements away in that game from like completing it on that Xbox skateboard we talked about earlier. I should maybe play that. Whip out the old faceplate I got from the dollar store.
Oh yeah, that's the one you want, right? God, I remember that. And they thought that was gonna be a thing. And I mean, it was. The faceplates were popping for a second, I guess.
The 360 is this beautiful time capsule where it's just like Jay Allard came out looking like he just got off a mountain snowboarding and like, laid down next to the thing. And they're like, and here are the killers and Elijah Wood. You're like, oh my God, what a beautiful
fever dream of video games.
I know, man. Yeah, something about the early 2000s or the mid 2000s is just like, so it wasn't, social media wasn't a thing, so like you could still do really dumb, embarrassing things, and no one would judge you right away. I miss them. Miss you, Jay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to squad up. This is where one of you writes into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, giving me your name, username, platform of choice, and why you need help in a video game. I read it here. The best friends come and find you, and everybody plays games together. Today, it's Mark Freeman who needs help on Zoom. You can find him on Twitter at the IndieBoy1, the numeral 1, the IndieBoy1. Mark Freeman writes in and says, "Hi, Greg and Adam. So we had another wonderful community Zoom Sunday. Well, apart from that 10-minute troll invasion when some fool tweeted out the link with 1.2 million followers, but Barbie Girl still slaps. Sorry about that. I didn't think people would Zoom bomb us. So like they were having like a community meet and greet, and I came in. I was like, this is fun. And then I tweeted out the information, and then people just came in. They wanted to be jerks, and they were jerks.
You're the Joker. You're chaos incarnate. I've always said it.
The votes are in, and this week the Zoom community meetup will be 1 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday. As usual, this is an open invite to everyone. We had a very global turnout this week. All the details will be on my pinned tweet at the IndieBoy1 with an FAQ as a reply. If we have an invasion in the future, we will enable the waiting room and pull in people that tweet me their Zoom names one by one. Right now, you don't have to worry about that, though. You can just go to twitter.com/the-IndieBoy1 for the details. He says this week's password will be case sensitive, #Greg sucks, capital G, capital S. And he's not spelling it the Nick Scarpino way. He's actually spelling it SUCKS. So Greg sucks. Incorrect way from KFAF. Hope to see you there. But if you can't make it, don't worry. This is a weekly thing we're going to do for the foreseeable future. So follow the IndieBoy1 on Twitter. It was fun to pop in, Mark. Congratulations on doing another one. Keep it going.
I wish you the
Adam,
best.
it's time to check in with You're Wrong. This is where people watching live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up so we can set the record straight. For everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, Rooster Teeth, and listening on podcast services around the globe. Capitalist Pig says, read the Mafia 3 timeline. Mafia 3 is actually set in 1968, not the 70s as stated. And then Tommy Boy says what we clarified already, but for the record, 2017 Call of Duty World War II, 2018 Black Ops 4, 2019 Modern Warfare.
Boom, got it.
Yeah. Crushed it. We got there in the end.
Well, here's my counter argument for the first one. Time's a construct, man. It's a man-made thing. There's so many leap years. It could, really, if we're using the calendar system, it's really like the year 10,000. Or whatever it is, like 12,000. Yeah. If you watch a Kresegert video every once in a while, but stuff. That's good. Yeah, man. It's heady. It's crazy. Look, we're all just atoms and we're not going to be here very long. So yes, I was off by 2 years. I apologize.
I think you're the only Adam here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, gentlemen, let's run you through the rest of the Kind of Funhouse week host. Tomorrow, it's going to be Blessing and Alanah. Thursday, Blessing and Adam. Friday, me and Alanah. Remember, all sorts of cool Kind of Funhouse stuff happening. You can go to kindoffunny.com/funhouse, see the entire schedule. Make sure you don't miss any of the videos we're doing over there, they're doing over here, the streams, the whatnots, the good times. Adam.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for this week of doing stuff together?
Oh my God. I just enjoy the whole thing of it. I'm just trying to enjoy it moment to moment, you know? Like I've learned, my therapist has told me just live in the moment like Michael Jordan, and that's what I'm trying to do. And like
Was your
so far,
therapist just the Michael Jordan documentary series?
but basically, yeah, I talk at it, and then it just says buy a Reese's or one of the other sponsors of that show. And they have a State Farm, I think was one. No, I think you guys have always been some of my favorite people in the world. I did that little Twitter thing earlier where they asked me to do something, and I just said, no, here's a picture of Greg and Tim that I keep in my my travel bag at all times. So I always have fond memories all the way back to the Gauntlet season 2.
Right? Remember that when we met way back in the day? Your leg was all screwed up.
I hurt myself doing CrossFit. That was stupid. CrossFit is stupid. I'm going on the record.
I'm glad somebody got the balls to say it, and it's you.
Finally, someone came out and was mad about it. But yeah, no. I mean, it's the coward answer. But I'm enjoying this entire week so far, and starting. You know, we did the stuff last week with Andy to get it rolling, but like you guys are always just so much fun to make content with. So yeah, I'm having a great time.
We're happy we worked it out. We're happy you're here. Of course, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, kindafunny.com/funhouse. You can keep up on all the different things we are doing. And remember, until next time, this has been Kinda Funny Games Daily, each and every weekday on a variety of platforms. We run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. The show isn't officially over. You can head over to patreon.com/kindafunnygames and get the exclusive post show there. But if you have no bucks to toss our way, no big deal. Maybe you're watching on youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Subscribe. Maybe you're listening on a podcast service. Keep your eyes on the road. Know that no matter how you consume the show, we love and appreciate you. And until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.